to another Top Table Gaming video. You're joined by me, Jay, and today we are here at Element Games Northwest Gaming Centre for the first ever Drowned Earth organised play event. Welcome to the jungle. So today we are here and we are going to be playing some Drowned Earth. A lot of you know a good friend of mine, James, who created this wonderful game. And today is the first ever organised play event for the system, and it would be rude not to take part. So we've got 5 games today, really interestingly all at different points values, and it doesn't just scale up, they go up and down, and the beauty of that is there's a narrative flow between the games, so I'm looking forward to showing you how that is and how the game's organised play and narrative format runs. We'll have a chat with some players, we'll show you some boards, and we'll just hang out and roll some dice, which is important. So I figured I'd make this video for you all. If you think you might want to check out the Drowned Earth, you'll see all the stuff you might need in the links below, and enjoy this footage, guys. Okay, so here we are, guys. We're joined by James, the creator of the Drowned Earth. So tell us a bit about your event today.
Well, today is the first ever narrative Drowned Earth event. It's called Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes, it is.
Although it's the start of a story cycle called Tech Rush.
Nice, okay.
So the idea, the way our official events are going to be run, is that each tournament pack is a narrative story, and game to game you discover that story as you go along, and then at the end there's a little sort of multiple choice teaser thing where you get to make an important decision, and then at the end of each cycle, which for the moment I think the cycles are probably going to run for a year, at the end we graph up all of the results of all of the tournaments and decide what really happened.
So you're actually driving the narrative of the game.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is really cool. And me and Matt have just played our first game. I'm gonna, he doesn't know, I'm gonna make him read the fluff section before we talk about our game. So on this video you'll see like the narrative that we get before and after each game and stuff. But we've got 5 games today.
5 games.
With a slight hiatus for the England match because we're But so it's interesting as well that the points change and they don't just scale up, they scale kind of up and down, which is nice.
Yes, that's right.
And there's little restrictions in certain bits, so you get to use a lot of different toys. And you effectively bring a pool of models and pick from them for each game.
The idea is effectively you bring a draft pool, and then you pick your lists specifically to tailor it for the scenario. So at the moment, so this basically is the first ever narrative event, but it's also kind of a dry run.
Yes.
So we're ironing out some of the creases, and something that I am thinking about is whether you make your list on the fly in response to what your opponent has, or whether you come with pre-prepared lists for each game.
So you can effectively alternate draw against each other's list, or you come up blind and you just reveal.
Either you tailor just for the scenario, or you tailor for the scenario and for the opponent.
Well, I have just learned that infiltrate is a very important rule that I didn't have.
Again, depending on the scenario.
Of course,
that
absolutely.
In certain scenarios, you really want a couple of infiltrating models. There's a scenario where you absolutely want a mech. There's a scenario where you absolutely want a medic.
Nice.
So those are kind of the utility profiles that you probably want at least one mech, one medic, maybe even 2 mechs sometimes. And whereas you always need a leader, and the other scouts give you infiltrate, but they're not a requirement in the scenario.
You also always need dinosaurs because they're just cool.
Because awesome.
Yeah.
So again, the cheaper ones, you've just got extra activations on the table. You've got things to harass your opponent with. You've got things to create little threat vectors, and just sort of try and steer the game.
Of course. But so great. We'll probably check back in later in the day. I've just finished game 1. I'm going to dive into some more, and I'll give you guys a look at the boards and what's going on. Alright guys, so me and Matt have just finished game 1. We very luckily drew each other and we had a bit of a fun one. We played a scenario called Arrival. So tell us a little bit about this scenario, mate.
So basically it's the 2 factions have turned up at a big, effectively technology site, and they both need to try and find what they need to get. So it's a race to a point at the end, an objective point, and it's scored on how many characters you can get within certain distances of the
Yeah.
end point.
So it was a 3-turn game. You score VPs for models in certain proximities of the objective, which was the other end of the board. You can also score VPs for killing models that are already in the scoring zone, and it was a very close game. And what score did it end, Matt?
20-0 to me.
Yeah.
But I did cheat and stitch Jay out of a free move at the
Oh, it's fine. I didn't know that stuff. But it was a really good one. It was nice. You should have just seen a little bit of the board as well, and it really encourages the dynamic movement and just using the terrain and traversing it and the free form kind of movement, which is what the game is all about.
Yeah, so it's a 3-turn limit. So to get across the board is quite tight, so it's a lot of decisions about, do you attack your opponent, do you dodge if they attack you, or do you just sprint? Especially for some of the slower characters like Jay had, it's quite tough to get all that.
Mine were just kind of breaststroking through the water and rather it didn't work. At one point I managed to take Sage down. Sage did some crazy dynamic movement, ended up on top of a ruined turn 1 until he got railgun to the face, which was pretty glorious, and at that point I was getting confident until I remembered that we're playing a scenario, and then it went wrong. But it was a good fun game.
Yeah.
So that was game 1 in the bag, and that first game was 95 points, and I believe the second one is 105, 110. They do scale up and down every game, so that was the first game in the bag. We'll come back after. Alright, so game 2 is done and I got to play this beautiful man.
Hey.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lee.
We all know Lee. He's that nice guy Lee of Guild Ball fame and Twitter fame. You do have Twitter fame these days.
A little bit, and TV Productions as well.
Presenter.
Yeah,
absolutely. So we just played game 2, we played Nesting Season.
That was a lot of fun.
It was good fun. Effectively there's a small deployment zone in the 4 corners and the 6 objective markers. You've got to interact with them, which was the problem, to get them.
Rolling on intelligence, which the first one isn't a problem, but then the more objectives that have been claimed, the harder it is to then claim later ones, which we both then start to struggle with.
The problem is what happens when you fail to claim an objective.
What happens is it's called Angry Mother, and an Oviraptor is concerned that you're in a nesting area, and the mother is a bit concerned that you're too close to the young, and she comes and starts tearing your face off.
And she tore my face off.
Good and proper.
So turn 1, Thorek, my leader, started. He failed his command roll, he failed his move.
Yep.
He then failed to interact.
Yes.
And took 3 wounds on a 4-wound leader.
Yeah, because the 8-point Oviraptor
speared him in the face.
Yeah, pretty much. I think did he nail it or feet nearly every single roll as well?
Yeah, and
disgusting.
By second activation, the same thing happened to my medic. So I was in serious trouble turn 1, but it ended up being good fun.
It was a riot. I mean, it was still close at the end.
It was. A couple of dinosaurs of mine managed to kill Nyx. They javelined into her.
There's one thing I'm really liking about this. It's a similar effect to the AR Rowan Infinity, but the fact that the counter attack when someone's coming in. So,
you don't always spend all your APs. You save them.
You just sit on them and wait.
And then the other thing is you really want to target models that have probably already activated.
Yes.
And then you're utilising the fact that they can't react.
A bit of resource management as well, which I quite enjoy. I still struggle to get my head around it a little bit because I'm not a critical thinker really, but firing some flaming arrows into a Utahraptor as it landed on Nyx from 6 feet up.
It jumped in and it just got shot out of the sky.
But it's still nice to throw a few. Well, it was a Domet that finished her off, wasn't it?
It was a Domet just to finish her off. But it's a really fun thematic game and it was a good laugh, right?
Yeah, it's an absolute right. We took it right down to the wire as well. So.
And who won that one?
I won a game!
Lee won a game! Lee has now broke the duck for the last 3 years and won a game. So I'm going 0-2 and living it strong. So we've started on the beer.
Yes,
we got the beers out in that game.
Start turn 2. It's like
we did. And we're having a bit of fun. So that's game 2, guys, and we'll come back after game 3. Cheers. Okay, so game 3 is done. And who am I joined by?
Neil.
Neil, and you're from Hastings, right?
Yes.
You've travelled a long way for this.
Yeah.
How are you finding the Drowned Earth? Are you enjoying the game?
Yeah, it's really fun. Been starting a few games down at 1066.
Good.
And we started a little league, so getting people in. Started small games to begin with, gradually growing it as you
That's
go.
good. You've got many players down there?
We've got about half a dozen at the moment.
Nice.
So I've signed up for the league.
Cool. Well, we've just played scenario 3, which is captured, which is super interesting. So this scenario, effectively, there's a central zone, and both our leaders are trapped in basically 3-inch force fields, effectively, and then around that is a rectangular force field. And then at equal points, just outside the objective zones in the corners, are terminals, and you can interact with those terminals to raise or lower any of the shields. And basically the scenario is for getting your leader off the board or killing the opponent leader. So how did our game go? It was quite interesting, really.
Yeah, I thought, to begin with, it might be quite useful to get the shields down and just set up so that I could try and take out the leader and then walk off at my leisure. Unfortunately for me, it didn't quite pan out that way.
So you started by dropping my shield, my personal shield, so I was free within the rectangle, and then you did a bit of position and basically pointed all the guns at my leader, and then I proceeded to do what I always do, which is whiff all my rolls to try and bring the shields down. So you did it for me, with the intention of basically opening fire on him while yours was still protected. He did, however, manage to get out. He took 2 damage from...
he took, what was it? 2 from Corian.
2 from Corian as he ran away, but then I used the command ability to grab other people's action points, and I feated one of my dynamic moves to jump up a building, and he managed to get to safety. And at that point, I was kind of fist pumping. I thought I had it.
You'd gotten to within 4 inches, pretty much the deployment edge.
Yeah,
he was away,
and he was hid halfway down a set of steps, carrying. And then he had taken 2 wounds, and then we proceeded to have like a turn of just fighting. We were both, and then Nix did what I did, but a little bit better.
Just about. So basically, got the shield down, and then unfortunately, that meant it was your activation, and you unloaded Ronell's minigun at her.
Twice.
Thankfully, Nix managed to dodge out of those.
So the minigun hit both times, but you did a nailed it result, which is a better level of success. Therefore, he gets to dodge and my attacks don't go through, because 1 round of shooting potentially could have killed her with that gun as well.
I mean, at that range, it would have been 5 dice.
He was just stood on a hill pointing a minigun at you.
5 dice with that template weapon is horrendous. I mean, especially if you've got an enemy who's just been healed up. Suddenly you're hitting
the medic
both the medic as well as them, and
Yeah.
so 2 models down. But luckily she got away, was able to command enough action points to then run from pretty much the centre of the board off in one action.
And so at that point the game ended and it's 5-3 to you because you had some wounds on my leader, right?
It would have been 6-5 because your leader would have gotten off the board.
Yes, sorry, we did that next time. So 6-5, so you got yourself a win.
Yep.
And I'm going 0-3 for the day, but I am having a lot of fun with this game. It's a great game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Recommend everyone to play it.
Super fun, really easy to pick up, and you don't really need a lot to get started.
No, 5. I've not used more than 6 models in the list today, so make sure you check it out, guys. Hope you're enjoying this vlog. We'll show you some more of the boards and some more games as we carry on. Thanks, guys. Alright, guys, game 4 is over, and who am I joined by?
I'm Tom.
We've got Tom, and you've travelled quite a way for this, right?
Yeah, I flew over from Geneva.
Geneva, so I played someone from Geneva and someone from Hastings, so a lot of cool people coming in for the first round Earth event. And we've just played scenario 4, which was BioKey.
Yes, we did.
It was a real interesting one, so effectively we both deploy on board edges. About 12 inches in is a console, about 20 inches in is a door, and if your console is on the left-hand side, your door is the right-hand side.
Vice versa.
Exactly, yeah. And you can either interact with the console to get effectively an access code to get through the door,
or you can blow up the door.
which isn't easy to do, and I did consider it for a minute or two.
Well, blame the militia, you probably had a better chance than anyone else.
Yeah, we've got the guns.
Yeah, you got it. But
Yeah.
it didn't work out so well for me, unfortunately.
I managed to get my first win, so I effectively put all my guns, climbed them up onto a ruin as soon as I could turn 1, and just had them all pointing their guns, so if anything went near the console, we just shot it to smithereens.
So
it was interesting.
Yeah, and the first guy went over the top and got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
The guy with the smoke launcher tried to go over the top and also got pretty much destroyed before you could even do anything.
I think the key thing was I put everyone on the ruin and saved an action point each so they could all react, and if one failed, the next would go.
Yeah.
And your faction looked a lot more, and we learned later in the game, it's horrific at close combat. I knew you wouldn't be able to fight your way through the door, so I figured if I kept you off the console.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As a strategy, it worked pretty well. It was
It
just
was.
that then you thought you'd go in and administer a coup de grace, and then
It
unfortunately,
failed. Yeah, I got cocky, and I lost my leader and my dinosaur. But it was actually a really close game because you had an activation at the start of the last turn where, had Alaya have killed my medic, you'd have won 1-0.
yes.
As soon as I realised that and he whiffed that attack, my medic ran for its life, and at that point it ensured that the game was 1-0 to me.
Yeah, you won on the tiebreaker's tiebreaker.
Yes.
So yeah. Well,
So I have won, but it was by the skin of my teeth.
yeah, it felt like it was going to be a bit of a steamroller for you to begin,
Yeah.
but it came back and it was really close. But
It
won
did.
fair and square.
We did alright, and we've got one more game today. Have you enjoyed your games so far?
Yeah, I've been enjoying myself. Like James has created some very interesting scenarios.
They are cool.
They're a bit more tactical than I imagine some of them are going to be.
Yeah, they're very different to the normal scenarios you get in games, which I like. So we've got one more game. Hope you're enjoying watching this video, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
very much.
Okay, so the last round is in the bag, and we just played a scenario called the Gauntlet, and I played. It's not Leslie again! Yeah, we played again because you don't move the match up in the last round, and we were the worst people of the day. Maybe the beer, but.
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah, I blame it on that skill.
I've only had 2 beers apart from that mango cider, so
You've got no excuse then.
no.
So we got to play again with you today, so we were happy.
Always a good time, yeah.
We have a good laugh, and we completely balls the scenario because we've been too busy talking rubbish, but we played it anyway.
It was, yeah.
So basically there is random deployments, so you roll for every model, comes on different board edges. Lee got quite a lot up on the north, I was kind of spread.
Got online pretty much in the same corner, which was quite good.
There are some turrets on the board which can shoot you from turn 2, but we kind of didn't have to worry about that.
We didn't get to turn 2, so.
And then there's a gate in the middle of the table that you got to get through. And how did it play out? So my dome head messed up Sage at first, which is ridiculous.
the idea for me was for Sage to charge your dome head, knock him off the table. It's one less thing to worry about. But Sage whiffed every
We got headbutted to
every
death.
roll and just got headbutted. He was on his back when
And then he
basically,
charged
yeah.
back in, yeah.
So that was quite. Yeah, he didn't. I think it backfired having all my guys in that corner because
Yeah.
everyone there was. I was like, all right, well I'm here.
It was
now.
quite a restricted corner for movement as well.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot
Yeah.
going on really, so bit of an issue there, but.
But it was good fun, and then you had to activate any 2 consoles had to be turned on before the door could be opened.
Four consoles around the centre.
Yeah, round the door.
The centre aperture that you had to
Yes.
get into.
So you activated one, and then I just went with Forek, who was stood on the edge of a ruin. He kind of commanded, got up to 5 AP,
Yeah.
jumped down, ran, turned the second one on, ran again, straight through the door.
That's
he
how
flipped it.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a god run, but he went for it and it paid off.
But that's how I struggled today because I've seen loads of people doing the command.
Command
I've read it wrong in the book, so I've got it wrong in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know how to apply it in game.
Yeah, so command is a leader ability where you can give or move AP between models, so it's pretty powerful, really.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to kill Nyx as well.
Yeah.
Like, she moved and a lot of things could see us. The shot and the militia love railguns, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, the game before that, my Nyx just absolutely tore up. She was
Those fire arrows as well, she's nasty.
Yeah, she was wiping people out before they had a chance to get set on fire.
Oh, was she really?
Yeah, so I was a bit disappointed with that. I was like, I just want to see somebody burn.
So we did finish 5-0 to me in that one.
It was, yeah.
So I've gone 2 wins for the day.
1 win, 4 losses.
We reckon Lee might have withheld his usual spot in events.
Yeah, I think I'll be dead last, but we'll find out shortly.
But what do you think of today then? So it's the first ever Drowned Earth event. It's good fun.
With it. Glad I backed it, and I'm glad that they decided to have the first event up here.
Yep.
Really, because I think, I don't want to travel for it, but might be more inclined in the future. But
Yeah.
just it's now I've got my head around it. It's fast.
We've all really learned the nuances of the rules today that are kind of hard to grasp until you just play a lot of games.
Definitely, I like it as well because it's not like it's not like say like a Guild Ball playbook. It's like you've got an attribute that you need to hit, an attribute that you need to hit, and then it's either excellent, it works, or you fail.
Or it's free.
Or it's free, or
And
you get it back.
exactly.
So and rolling low really suits Jay and myself. So we're quite
That's
happy
what we
with
do.
that. That's what we do.
Well, there's been
It's a great game. It really is.
some of the fun stuff is just like when you get the feet rolls and suddenly your character's just diving over buildings
Oh,
and
yeah.
shooting 3 times.
That's
it's really thematic and fun, right?
that my game against Neil. That's exactly what it was like. Nick
Yeah.
she just went on a. I think I had like 5 activations out of 3, and then like 2 shots. She just absolutely peppered him. He felt quite bad.
Well, that is the end of our games. What we'll do is before we wrap up, we'll grab a quick chat with games. But I recommend you all go and check out Drowned Earth. Great game.
Fantastic game. Absolutely love it.
And this actually is the first video ever filmed in the new Top Table HQ.
And I won it twice.
You are now the most featured man on this.
All right.
Literally, the only thing that's installed right now is the green screen behind you.
That's all.
Which, if it's working, all you can see is a dinosaur. But
I've got bits of green on my top. That should be quite amusing.
oh, you've ruined.
We'll be fine.
We'll wing it. But if anyone wants to come and visit us here and play me or Lee, we can get some games, both local.
Yes.
And we can roll some dice and have some fun. So check out the Drowned Earth. Hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you later. Hello. Okay, so that is it. That is the end of the first ever Drowned Earth OP event. Welcome to the jungle. How do we think it's gone? Let's ask Matt first, because you've played.
Yeah.
Also manipulated a spreadsheet to his advantage, but we're not going to talk about that today. How do you think it's been today? Been good fun?
Really, really good. Although it was quite competitive, everyone took it really seriously. It was fun.
Everyone's played it in the right
everyone
mind.
played it in the right spirit.
The scenarios are something I want to talk about because they are. It's probably hard to describe without putting some serious thought into it. They're not just the generic, like, copy and paste scenarios you get in most games. There's a level of depth to them you don't usually find, yet they're not difficult to pick up. They're really fun, they're really different. The one with your leaders trapped in the force fields in the middle, we've got a bit of random deployment, you've got a little bit of racing to an objective. I think they're a really good rounded bunch.
Yeah,
Good
I
fun.
feel like there's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Every scenario challenges you in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
Encourages you to think about what you're picking.
When your opponent lies to you about where the infiltrate key rule is on your card, that never helps. But no, it's been good. So how's it been for you, James? Obviously,
Yeah, it's been
this is
brilliant.
your event. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
Good.
The feedback has been really positive, which is the main thing.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, I mean, it's a bit of a sort of, what's the right way to put it? It's sort of a nervous moment when you're about to unleash this thing into the wild.
Yeah.
You know, and you've play tested it, but you know there are only a certain amount of play testers, and they're all coming at it from a level of knowledge. How does a player who hasn't played much of the game respond to that document?
Yeah.
And you know, how do they? How well do they read it? Something I was concerned about is that I wouldn't say they're complicated, but the scenarios are a little bit intricate. And the reason for that is that you know this is the first ever event and the game's been out like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
So I was concerned that first time around the block people would find the scenarios complicated because they were also wrestling with the rules. But actually, I mean, I don't think that happened at all. Everybody seemed to
It was good.
pick it up really smoothly.
It was good. No, it was good fun. I got the winner's choice in the last game and I picked the only obvious outcome.
The same
You guys who...
everyone picked, yeah.
Exactly, because we're all smart people who want to see the world burn again. But you guys watching this video will, hopefully, if James sends me the art assets, nudge nudge, have seen the narrative slides in between the games. Because we made Matt read them in the first one, and then it was like, wow, that wasn't fun, so we cut that, we tried again, and we decided to just slide them in.
Makes sense.
But I've had 5 fun games, I think everyone has. If you haven't, please check out the Drowned Earth Miniatures game. We'll stick all sorts of links and stuff below. Thank you, James, for hosting.
Welcome.
And I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and we'll see you in another video soon. Cheers, guys.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.